How much money do the wealthiest black families in the USA have? Millions, hundreds of millions, billions of dollars. The amounts are staggering, as are the success stories. I'll tell you about the 10 wealthiest people with dark skin, and at the same time, about what they had to go through. Some of their stories are intense. Kanye West is a name familiar to anyone even remotely interested in the global music scene. What do you think of his antics and pronouncements? For example, once he declared that he would become the new president.
I have decided in 2020 to run for president.
Everybody says, who does he think he is? I just told you who I thought I was, a god. I just told you.
And that's not even touching on his posts on various social media platforms. He even had his accounts blocked for racism, despite being black himself and accused of racism against black people. It happens, but in any case, he's not just an artist, but a true phenomenon. Let me remind you of how rocky his path was. Kanye grew up as an unusual child with strong creative ambitions. His mother always supported his aspirations, which undoubtedly influenced the formation of his character. His breakthrough came with his album The College Dropout, which not only became popular, but also won Grammys. This album opened up the world for his subsequent creations, in which he wasn't afraid to experiment with music and image. Kanye quickly became known for his unique style, both in music and fashion. Creating his own fashion line Yeezy in collaboration with Adidas showcased his unique perspective on fashion. He boldly crossed the boundaries of the typical rap image and offered something new, not only in music, but also in fashion. West also actively asserted himself, not afraid to express his opinion even on the brink of provocation, which earned him the reputation of a mad genius. And he managed to raise a whole bunch of money, $6.6 billion at the moment. And now I must tell you about a great woman. Oprah Winfrey, a name that epitomizes success and inspiration for many, didn't become America's most influential woman and the first black female billionaire for nothing. Interestingly, among all those who shared their secrets with her on the show were Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, and even Donald Trump. But why did Oprah earn such trust? Perhaps because she herself went through pain and trials, and now her fortune amounts to over $3 billion. The future television star was born in Mississippi. Oprah grew up in a family where she was often neglected and lacked care. Her parents were too young and unprepared for a child. Therefore, Oprah spent her early years with her grandmother, who was strict and even cruel to her granddaughter. Interestingly, Oprah began performing in public at the age of 2, delivering a speech on Easter. But despite early success, her childhood was full of trials. Moving in with her mother at the age of 6, Oprah faced even greater difficulties. Family life was far from ideal, and at the age of 9, Oprah became a victim of violence by relatives. This was the beginning of a series of severe trials, including fleeing from home, drugs, and even attempted suicide after the tragic loss of a child. But life changed drastically when Oprah moved in with her father. He supported her, insisted on education and development. Self-belief led her to television, where despite skepticism from colleagues, she was able to prove her talent. Oprah even said,
"You become what you believe, not what you think or what you want."
And since I've started talking about women, here's another self-made billionaire. Rihanna, known to the world not only as a talented singer, but also as a successful entrepreneur, is now listed among the richest musicians in the world. Forbes estimates her fortune at $1.4 billion. Interestingly, music wasn't the only path to her success. From childhood, she faced severe trials in a family where her father, a warehouse worker, would come home drunk and start violent arguments, witnessed by the entire family, unfortunately. In an interview with Rolling Stone, Rihanna shared a moment from her life when, trying to stop her parents' quarrel, she broke a bottle to get attention and stop the violence. This became routine until Rihanna's mother decided on divorce after her father's drug addiction began. A turning point in Rihanna's life occurred when she was only 14, and after her parents' divorce, she began supporting her mother and raising her younger brothers. Music became her salvation and a release from the hardships of everyday life. Her talent was noticed by producer Evan Rogers, who offered the young Rihanna to record a demo. This marked the beginning of her career, as soon her mini-album caught the attention of Jay-Z, who was impressed and offered her a contract. But Rihanna's big money came not only from music. She actively pursued business, particularly in the fashion industry. Rihanna even launched her own cosmetics brand, Fenty Beauty, which proved extremely successful, selling $72 million in its first month alone. Rihanna skillfully combines talent, style, and entrepreneurial skill, demonstrating that success is not only talent, but also the ability to see and seize opportunities. And where would we be without Jay-Z? A legend, in my opinion. He's one of the most influential figures in the music, but recently he reached a new pinnacle in his career, becoming the wealthiest hip-hop artist in the world with an estimated net worth of $2.5 billion. Not bad, huh? According to Forbes, his fortune significantly increased from $1.4 billion in 2021, despite the lack of new musical releases and live performances during this period, with further exponential growth planned in the coming years. But how does he do it? It's mostly due to Jay-Z's diverse investments and entrepreneurial activities outside the music industry. And yes, he's one of the few early investors in Uber who believed in the company from the start. Additionally, Jay-Z has a private collection of fine art, including works by Jean-Michel Basquiat. His ability to expand his influence beyond music has strengthened his status in the entertainment industry and beyond. Jay-Z also became the first rapper to enter Forbes' billionaire list in 2019, setting an example of success that influenced the entire hip-hop genre. And together with his wife Beyoncé, their combined wealth now exceeds $3 billion. By the way, here's how the guy describes his journey.
And how we're always the last on the totem pole, even from our schooling to our roads to, everything that all the obstacles that's placed in front of us, even our living conditions. You live in a project, someone lives here, 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 and here. You have to deal with all these different type of personalities. You're in the box. Someone's above you, below you, to the right of you, and to the left of you. And every day you have to manage that circle. And that's just 2 floors. These buildings have 26 floors, right? These low-income houses, and everything is messed up there. So that's like living dormant. If this is what I have to live for, then I'm going to take the chance to get more.
And who earns no less than the stars? That's right, athletes. Michael Jordan changed the sports world not only with his incredible achievements, but also with his unique mentality. Jordan, who was always obsessed with winning, showed that success and failure are 2 sides of the same coin. He himself said,
I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life. And that is why I succeed.
These words underscore the importance of perceiving failures not as the end of the road, but as a necessary element of your progress. Michael Jordan also understood that success requires determination and perseverance. I can accept failure, but I can't accept not trying. This philosophy helped him not only in sports, but also in business, where he also achieved significant heights. Collaborating with Nike led to the creation of the Air Jordan brand, which remains iconic to this day. Jordan became a symbol of perseverance and hard work, an example that every person is capable of overcoming obstacles and achieving greatness, and his net worth emphasizes this once again, standing at $3.2 billion. To grasp the scale, just the basketball player's car park is worth over $500 million, although Michael himself isn't particularly neat behind the wheel. But what if you get into a car accident in America? You don't have billions of dollars and a team of lawyers. Where do you turn for help? Where can you find a competent attorney? How do you get compensation if you don't have insurance? The company DTP America helped its clients receive $21 million in compensation. They'll definitely answer all your questions here. Link in the description. And where would we be without the man who first achieved success, then nearly lost it all? Yes, I'm talking about Tiger Woods, once the undisputed king of golf. He wasn't just an athlete, but a symbol, an idol to millions. But by the end of 2009, everything changed. Tiger Woods openly admitted to numerous infidelities to his wife, which shocked the public and his fans. This scandal quickly became the main topic of discussion in the media, which spared no criticism of the athlete, mocking and condemning his actions. Against this backdrop, Woods found solace in pills, leading to depression and injuries that seriously affected his professional game. In those years, Tiger Woods was at the height of his fame. Starting his golf career in 1996, he quickly achieved success thanks to the support of companies like Nike. His talent and charisma brought him not only sporting recognition, but also huge income from advertising contracts and sponsorships. Electronic Arts even released a series of golf games named after him. However, after the scandal, many sponsors withdrew, and Woods faced the need to rebuild his name and career. The recovery process was long and difficult. He faced criticism and ridicule, suffered from physical pain and psychological difficulties. Serious surgeries and dependence on painkillers worsened his condition. But he didn't give up. Tiger Woods made an impressive comeback. In 2019, he won the Masters tournament, proving that even after serious life setbacks, a return to previous heights is possible. And currently, he has over $1.4 billion in his pocket. And this is Robert Smith, a man not so much in the media spotlight, but equally worthy in my opinion. His fortune is $5 billion. In 2000, after leaving a prestigious position at Goldman Sachs, Smith founded his own investment firm, Vista Equity Partners. At that time, his decision was met with skepticism from colleagues, but it became the starting point of his path to success. I just kept moving forward when others were scratching their heads. Since then, Robert Smith has achieved staggering success in the world of investments, especially in the technology sector, which allowed him to make his debut on Forbes' billionaire list in 2016. In 2015, he married Hope Dworacek, a former Playboy model and mother of his son, in a lavish wedding on the Amalfi Coast in Italy. He now lives in Austin, Texas, and continues to be actively involved in philanthropy. Robert Smith has also joined the Giving Pledge initiative, pledging to donate half of his fortune to charitable causes, just like Bill Gates. I consider this a very commendable gesture. But I think besides American billionaires, you would be interested to know about the richest black people in the world. The sums there are absolutely astronomical, and I'll start with a sheikh. Mohammed Hussein al-Amoudi, actively involved in business in Saudi Arabia and Ethiopia, is one of the richest and most influential people in Saudi Arabia, despite not being a member of the royal family. Yes, he earned it all with his own hands. His career began in the construction business, which allowed him to establish himself and amass a fortune. How much? Currently, it's over 14 billion. Impressive, isn't it? Hussein expanded his assets by investing in oil refineries in Morocco and Sweden, as well as engaging in mining and agriculture. His business in agriculture is especially interesting, including the production and supply of coffee for the international coffee chain Starbucks and tea for Lipton. His contribution to the social sphere also deserves attention. He participates in building hospitals, emphasizing his interest in investments, not only in commercial, but also in socially significant projects. And what about a man who has dominated the list of the richest people in Africa and the world for over a decade? I'm talking about Aliko Dangote, whose name has become a symbol of unprecedented success on the continent, although it's hard to call him a public figure. How does he manage to stay on top for so long? Orphaned in childhood, he was raised in a family of entrepreneurs and learned business management from a young age. Education in Egypt solidified his aspirations, and soon after studying, he started his business in Nigeria. Returning home, he engaged in cement importation, thanks to a loan from his uncle. But his ambitions went beyond simple trading. Soon, he founded the Dangote Group, from flour to sugar and from milk to fish. Dangote diversified his interests and built a true African empire. And let's not forget about his recent achievements. In 2022, the largest fertilizer plant in Africa was launched, which is clearly in high demand within the country. So what's his net worth? $15.2 billion. Well, not the richest billionaire, but definitely the most scandalous among all black billionaires. And yes, it's a woman. I'm talking about Isabel dos Santos, the daughter of a former president of Angola. 8 years ago, when Forbes first estimated her fortune at $3.5 billion, she became the richest woman in Africa. However, after her father's departure from the presidency, her financial position and reputation faced serious challenges. Isabel grew up in luxury, but her story is closely intertwined with political and economic intrigues in Angola, a country rich in resources but suffering from poverty and corruption. Her empire began to crumble after her father, José Eduardo dos Santos, who ruled Angola from 1979 to 2017 and was known as a local dictator, stepped down. The daughter had to pay the price as she was accused of corruption, and many foreign assets were frozen. As a result of these events, by 2022, Forbes excluded Isabel from the list of billionaires, as the majority of her assets were frozen or lost. Despite this, Isabel dos Santos still owns significant assets, including real estate in Dubai and London, as well as a yacht worth $35 million. She continues to live between two cities, Dubai and London, effectively being in hiding in her own country. Even after deducting all that was frozen, Dos Santos has around $1.5 billion in her pocket, so poverty is not looming for her. As you can see, everyone's stories are different, but the common motive is one: never give up. Thanks for watching.